Hi everybody, it's Crystal. Welcome to my channel, Bagoday Crochet. So today I'm going to be doing, I don't know, a yarn comparison video. I like to do those. I like to do them so much. And I have to do this one, okay? It's a must, and I'll tell you why. So Premier put out a new yarn, and it is an ombre. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but when it comes to like varieties of like types of yarn that you can use, solids are my favorite and ombres are my second. And I think that when it comes to value ombres, that there has never been one on the market that ever beat Redheart Super Saver Ombre. To me, it is the finest of value ombre that's ever been on the market. And I always say I use it so much. I buy this all the time and I use it all the time. It is probably one of my favorite Redheart yarns. Because I love ombre yarns so much, and for value ombre, this to me is the best. And I do want to put this out here though, that everything that I'm about to say is just my own, perspective. It's everybody is different, so my opinions don't really mean crap. But sometimes people ask me if I will review a yarn, and I really wasn't going to do any yarn reviews this year. But this really isn't a review. The Premier just came out with a new ombre, and I love ombre yarn so much. I had to try it out. I have to check it out and see. I always say to Redheart, now, you've been the running champion for me for so long as the best value ombre. Somebody someday is going to come and take you out. So far, nobody has. I've went through other value ombres. But for me, no one has ever beat Redheart Super Saver. Will Premier? I don't know. But we're going to find out today. Now, please, though, it is just my personal opinions. And sometimes I can be a little bit picky about an ombre, so I wouldn't take my opinions to heart or anything. I always recommend you try the yarn yourself, okay? But with that said, I'll go ahead and talk to you about it. So I had some people tell me that Premier came out with a new ombre. Boy, did I get excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, is it gonna be the one to take Redheart down? Is it gonna take Redheart down? Maybe. I was excited. So I went on Premier.com and I purchased it. They have 10 colors available, and I purchased all of the colors, and then there was one color that stuck out to me so much. It was so pretty. I thought, oh my gosh, that is definitely going to be Redheart. That is the prettiest. So pretty. So I bought more of those so I could make something bigger. But I bought one of the other colors just so I could, I wanted to look at them. Of course I wanted to look at them. I love ombre yarn. So I'm just going to be giving you my just personal just about the yarn. And I'm going to compare it to Redheart because this is every value ombre. I compare it to Redheart because this is my favorite. And I use it so much. And I just will say that I am not affiliated with Redheart nor Premier, so I'm just giving it to you as a person who just does not give. I don't care if you buy either one of them. I don't care if you like either one of them. I don't care if you like both of them, or I'm just whatever. I'm just telling you my just about it, I guess. Okay, let's go. So let's look at these ombres and see if they are gonna beat my Redheart. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is it. Premier Just Yarn Worsted Value Ombre. All right, so I have had the Just Yarn before in like the solid form version. For me, that is an okay value yarn. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't purchase it. When it comes to Premier value yarn, I usually buy Premier Basic. But I don't have a problem with this one. I just usually get the basic. I think there's more color choices and whatnot. But anyways, so there we go. Let's look at it. Right off, I can tell you that the colors. Now I know that they are not trying to have the same colors as Redheart. Now I don't think. I mean, why would Premier want to do that? They wouldn't want to do that. I can tell right off that although this color is similar to a Redheart ombre that I know of, it is much more muted in color. So the color is not as saturated as yeah, it's a lighter version of like a Redheart color, I guess I would say, like their spearmint color of ombre. Anyways, this is 612 yards. It has more yards than Redheart. Redheart, I think, what's it got? 459. I'll look here. 482. So, you know, about 130 more yards. This has. It's 560 meters and 9.8 ounces, 280 grams. It is 100% acrylic. Medium weight number 4. The color that this one is called Sea Glass. Made in Turkey. Recommending a hook size of a 5.5 millimeter and a needle size of a 5 millimeter. All right. Well, how does this ombre feel when I got a Redheart here because I wanted to compare them. How do they feel in comparison? Now, if you're going to ask me, now remember, everybody's hands feel things differently. So remember, yeah, that's why I always encourage everybody to buy things one ball, even if it's just one ball, for themselves and try it out. They feel exactly the same. If you were just going to ask me, they feel exactly the same. And as much as I love Redheart Super Saver, it is not a soft yarn. It's not. It's just average. Sometimes it can be a scratchy acrylic yarn, but it does soften up after a wash. So yeah, they feel the same. If you've ever felt Redheart Super Saver or Redheart Ombre, yeah, feels identical to that. To me, it does. I can't really see no difference, feel no difference in that. Let's look at the weights on them. So this is the Premier. Yeah, I see that's okay for weight. Yeah, I think so. And then we're gonna see, this is Redheart's. I'm gonna say that's an okay 4 weight. Appears to be maybe just a t-tad thicker now on that. So, and it smells clean. And this just smells like yarn. This has been in my house. I mean, it don't smell like it doesn't smell like a cardboard box. How about that? They both smell good. Okay. Let me look at the ounces on the Redheart here. I love doing comparison videos. I don't know why. I just love to do comparison videos. Okay, so right off, this is a little bit weird. So this will tell you a little bit that this is actually a thinner yarn. This has 10 ounces. This weighs 10 ounces. And, you know, there's 482 yards. This weighs 9.8 ounces. And there's 612 yards. So it is a thinner 4. There's more yarn here, but it doesn't weigh as much. So they got more yarn because it's a thinner 4 than what this is. So actually this weighs more than this. So I didn't really notice that at first, but now, you know, I'm looking at them. Yeah, it is a thinner 4 if you ask me. Yeah, only if you ask, you know. And that's why it's, I try to get them on there as best as I can. Yeah. I would still consider it an okay 4 weight though, but just going by the weight there, it gives you, it's a thinner 4. As for this is a nice 4 weight, but besides that, I still think it's an okay 4 weight, you know. But yeah, you can tell it's thinner, and you can tell by the amount of yards versus ounces in each of them. So yeah. Okay, let's look at the colors in. Sea Glass, pretty. It's pretty. It is muted. Like, it's not as dark as. I'm gonna tell you, there's something I didn't like about some of these ombres, but going for the picture. You can't always go from the picture. So that one's nice. And then we have Violet Ombre. It's pretty. It does look like, you know, it's just like a purple that Redheart has, you know. Though it's just duller in color and muted, and there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't expect Premier to have exact replicas. They wouldn't want that. And some people prefer more saturated colors of yarn, and some people prefer more muted versions. So, you know, that is all depends on your taste there. That looks like a just fine ombre there. So here's this one. This one is called Steel. Very similar to one that Redheart has as well, but just a muted, like muted down, not as saturated, not as dark, but yeah, so pretty. So that would all, the colors are kind of just your preference, you know. Similar colors to Redheart Bunch. Okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. And then we have, this is their teal. Okay. I have Redheart's teal right here. So you can see how much more saturated in color that Redheart's is. But like I said, the Premier's not trying to be like Redheart. They're doing their own thing, you know. They're just doing a lighter versions of ombre. So ain't nothing wrong with that. It's good. It's good to have different choices and different options. I don't see this being a problematic ombre, actually. It looks pretty, like it might be okay, yeah. I do see some of these, well, by the pictures, being a little bit problematic, but I'll tell you why here in a second. This one is called Azure Ombre. So there we have a very light blue. See, so this is one I would be considered to be a little bit problematic for me in particular, because I am very particular when it comes to color and color control. That lightest color in there, although it's not bad, there's a couple examples that are a little bit worse. It's okay. This one might be okay. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Look at this one. Look at this one. Okay, this one is called Fuchsia Ombre. Why is there such a white running through it? Now, Karen has an ombre, and I am not a fan of that one. I have used it from time to time, but a lot of them have this white stripe in it, just like Karen does, and I will cut that out because I don't like it. And I would do the same with this one. I don't know why that's there. It's not actually white. It's really, really extremely such a light pink that it just looks odd. I'm gonna work it up though. You know, it could look okay, but to me, it just looks like I would definitely be cutting that out if it was me. But you know, yeah. Okay. And this one is Turquoise Ombre. Again, I don't know why it's got that white. It's like I said, it's not really white, but it's so light that it almost looks white. It's kind of unappealing to me. I noticed that in the pictures on some of them, and I'm like, oh, that looks like Karen's. But some of them looked really pretty, you know. I can't say I'm a big fan of this one myself. I don't see that being anything for me as far as I'm just not liking that white stripe, because I've used Karen's and it's pretty much like got that white stripe too, and like I said, I just cut it out because I can't stand it. I'm such a stickler for color control. All right, and then there was this one which is called Salmon Ombre. Now I'm gonna show you this, but I actually did do a sample with this one, and this one was another. It had that white in it. Why does it have that white in it? Some of you might like it. It's not, like I said, it's not actually white. It's just so light it looks white. And before I show you that sample swatch of that, they had another one, and this is the one I fell in love with. I saw it on my computer And I'm like, that is so like saturated and so beautiful. I have to get it. And I did. I bought more of this, and I bought 6 of these so I can make a blanket with it. And then I get it, and it don't look anything like what they are representing on their page here. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that things look different on different devices. I know that. So you can't always, most of the time, you can't go by what the picture shows. But I look at it on my phone, and it's like super dark and beautiful. And then I look at it on my laptop, and it's super dark and beautiful, looking the same as it does on my phone. I have a TV right here, right in front of me. I look at it on my TV, and it is the same, super dark and beautiful. 3 devices all looking like super beautiful, like dark burgundy ombre. And when I saw that, I'm like, that's gonna beat Redheart's, right? I got it, and I'm like, what the heck is this? This is like, it is pretty, don't get me wrong, but it looks nothing like what they're representing. And then I went through them all, and none of them look like they're representing. They're all, so if you go to their website, remember, I do know things look different. I buy online all the time. I know that. But after looking at 3 different devices, a laptop, my phone, and my TV, and they're all looking the same on all these, they're just, it kind of leads me to believe that maybe, just maybe, it's just a little bit misrepresented on their website. This is an extreme muted version of what they have on their website. If you go look at it right now, and then you look at this, you're gonna be like, it don't even look like the same one. I was a little disappointed in this one, although I still do think it's pretty. I prefer more saturated colors and versus a muted. Like I said, I still think it's pretty, and it doesn't have that like really light white color in it. I think it'll still make something very pretty. It's just a little disappointing. I was so excited to open it up and see that really dark burgundy, and I'm like, what is this? Redheart's anemone color is closer to that color that they have on their website than their own yarn is. No, I'm not making fun of them. It's a beautiful yarn. I think maybe it was just a little bit misrepresented, and I'm going to say that about each color. None of them look like the picture. They're all a lighter version of what the picture shows, and I only say that because I've seen it on so many different devices, and I compared them on so many different devices that I know that, I'm not just looking at my phone and comparing it. I'm looking at several different devices, and it is misrepresented. The color is misrepresented on their website. But that is okay, because I know that's what happens when you buy online. I know that, of course, This is the way it is, So, although I was disappointed, I'm not mad. It's beautiful on the website, but this is pretty too. It's just a little lighter than what I anticipated. I'll still use it. Heck yeah, I think this is a very pretty color. I'll definitely use it. I'm very happy with it. Not as happy as I would have been if it would have been, like it showed, but that, like I said, that's just me, that's just me. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, the price of this yarn at Premier, I don't know if they sold anywhere else. I have no idea. I only saw it at Premier, but then again, I don't know. Is $6.99, so it is $7 a ball, and I would say that is in line with Redheart's Ombre. I can get one for about $7 a ball. I can get, I can just go to my Walmart 10 minutes away. That's where I always get it for about $7 a ball. Or Joann's often has it on sale. I've seen it for $6, sometimes in the $5 a ball for the Redheart Ombre. So I would say price wise, they are, if you ask me, they would be in line with the same price. But remember, this does have less yardage, about 100, what did I say, 30 yards less. But this weighs less, so you know that the yarn is a lighter 4-weight than this one. So, you know, you can take that as you will. The colors of the yarn are not as, they're just muted versions of color. And that, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people like the muted versions. A lot of these are very pretty. I think some of them are iffy, but like I see nothing wrong with like this one, and even this teal isn't bad. I mean, I prefer the darker one, but I would still use this. It's a very pretty yarn. The purple is very pretty. It's, you know, a light of the green. It's very pretty. I see nothing wrong with some of these. I only had issues with the website being misinterpreted, only because I looked at so many different ones, and I had a little issue with the ones that had that few of them, several had that white or such a light color running through them. Now I did knit one. I put one on my knitting machine so we could see what it would look like done up, and I used this peach color here. Okay, this is what I used. And this is what she looks like. Okay. Now, I think that this is a very, very pretty ombre. Now, Premier, I know that you watch my videos, and this is not just about me. It's just a question in general. You don't have to answer it. I'm just, what is up with the 5-inch stripe of white yarn? Why is that there? To me, I would cut that out and not even have it. It would be gone. And look at that. That is a beautiful ombre right there. Even if you would just have made it like the same size as the other stripes, I probably could have dealt with that. Maybe. Yeah, I think I could have dealt with that. But you can see the visible stripes there, which there's nothing wrong with seeing the visible stripes, but the white in it, why is it so much like a thick chunk? I don't want no thick chunk of white or light peach in my project. That's odd. I don't know why it's like that. Are they all like that? Did I get a fluke? When I look on their website, they got thick chunks of white in them. I don't know what's up with that. Why, Premier? Why? Why'd you do that? If you're gonna put that light in it, at least make it the same as the other. I don't know. Maybe it's like because it reversed itself, you know, and started going in the opposite direction. But that didn't happen with the dark up here. If that was the case, whenever it hit the dark, there would be a big thick chunk of dark. But there's not. There's the same size dark as all the other ones, and then it started reverting in the opposite direction. So I don't know. To me, that's unappealing. But to a lot of you guys will like that. And that's fine. Everybody likes what they like. I think it's a very pretty ombre if that was gone. That is very, very pretty. Even like I said, I could tolerate it if it was the same amount as the rest, maybe. But as it stands, I'm so particular about color. I have to have it a certain way. I would cut this out, and that's what I do when I buy Caron ombre. Which is why I don't hardly ever buy it, because it's just a waste to do that for me. I just can't stand it not to be, you know, a big chunk of white. Why is it? Come on, it doesn't have to be like that. I don't understand it. But anyways, like I said, if it was reverting back to the opposite direction, it would have done the same with the dark, and it didn't. It didn't do it. It made the dark in the same couple inches that it did all of them, and then it started to revert back to, you know, the next darkest color. And then they hit the white, and you got like 5 inches of a white block in your project. Now they're not all like this. So the peach one had that white in it, you know. And like I said, many of you might like that, and that's cool, man. I'm not knocking it. I think it's a pretty ombre. I do. I think they did a very nice job on the ombre. other than this for me is not for me, but it could be for you. I mean, everybody's different. So my final thoughts on this: did it beat Redheart for me? No, it didn't. It didn't beat Redheart. Redheart, you are still the undefeated champion of the world for value ombre, but I have a feeling that's going to change in a couple months. I have a feeling that you're going to step down a notch. I hope. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. I mean, it is hard to beat this for me. I really like Redheart Ombre. But as far as premieres go, Premiere, you did a good job on your ombre. I don't understand the ones that have that big chunk of the lightest color in it. To me, that looks odd, but to other people, they might like it. So, you know, it's, like I said, it's not as what I like. It's what everybody likes. I think the colors are very pretty. They're just, you know, muted colors, not saturated, which is just fine. A lot of people don't like saturated colors. I think this purple is gorgeous, and I think this green is very pretty, and this blue isn't too bad. A little iffy for me. I don't know if I would use that one. I don't think the teal is too bad, although it is quite a bit muted than the Redheart. But you know what? We're not comparing it like that, because I know that you were not trying to have the same colors. This is your version of your teal ombre, and it's very pretty. You did a very nice job. These two I just can't pass. I can't get in this one too, the one I showed you the example of. I can't get over how unappealing that light color in there is to me. And then I think the gray is just fine as well. I'll definitely use that. Make some stitch tutorials out of it, because I like to do that. This one was a little disappointing to me because it did not meet my expectations when it came in. But I still think that this is my favorite of all the colors that you have. Although it's so much more muted than what your website shows. I still am disappointed in that, but I'm still not disappointed enough that I don't like it, because I do like it. It's very pretty. You know, life sometimes is a disappointment. In fact, I find most times life is just a big disappointment, in my case anyways. And you know, I think generally with me, I don't get my hopes up about anything. That way I learned to not be disappointed. I've done that since I was a child. I learned that never ever get your hopes up about anything, and then you're never disappointed. But for some reason, I saw that, and I just got my hopes up that was just the most prettiest ombre I was ever going to see, and it was just going to knock out Redheart's holding its reign at #1 ever since it came out. But no, disappointment set in as soon as I opened the box. But like I said, it's still very pretty, and I'll still use it to make a blanket. I think it'll make a very pretty blanket. So, end of my thoughts is, I think Premiere did a wonderful job. I do not like the ones with the white in it, but that's subjective. I just showed you what it looked like. You like it, you don't like it, that's on you. I don't care if you buy it. I don't care if you do buy it. I really don't care at all. I'm only just telling you, you know, I always just like to compare ombres because I love ombres so much. There are many colors that I will use for stitch tutorials, because even though they're a little bit milder in color, that's okay. I do prefer the vibrant colors, but I think these muted colors are very pretty. You did a nice job on your color palette, other than those questionable ones with the white in them. But again, that's just me. Price-wise, it being similar in price is good. Although, like I said, this does have more yardage, but it does weigh less, so it's telling you that it's a thinner 4-weight. I'm going to stick with Redheart. Only because I'm going to stick with Redheart because the colors are more saturated, which I prefer. They don't have big, thick stripes of white or such a light color that it looks white in them. None of their yarns do, unless that I can think of. I don't think any of their ombres do. The ease for me to get this, just to run to Walmart, is just, it's easier for me than to order from Premiere and wait for them to ship it and stuff like that. And like I said, I would just I wouldn't even use those ones with white in them, because it would be a waste, because I would cut it out, because I can't stand that. But other than that, Premiere, I commend you on your nice job with the ombre. Although it is not something I would ever purchase again, for the fact that the colors are not really colors that I would choose myself. They're just too light for me. I still will use the ones that I have. I do prefer Redheart's color palette over Premier's. And like I said, that yardage difference there isn't enough to make me want to change it at all. So yes, but again, hey, you beat out Karen's Ombre. I think you're better than them. If I had to rate you out of all the value ombres on the market at the moment, you would be number 2. I think that. But like I said, I don't think I would buy it again, only because I can, I like the darker colors. I'm so addicted to, I use this all the time. This is actually like one of my favorite colors of the Redheart Ombre, and the ease of getting it is just so easy for me. So for those reasons, that is why I would not use it in the white stripe. Other than that, though, you did a wonderful job. I can't say that you didn't. And it feels just like Redheart Super Saver, and it's a bit thinner, but other than that, it's good. So please give it a try. If you have the means, go to Premier, try them out. Just remember that what the website shows is going to be it's going to be lighter than what it shows. So like, that was extreme disappointment with that burgundy one, but that's okay, because I'm still going to use it. And then whatever I make, it'll be beautiful. And these I will use for stitch tutorials, since I have them, because that's what I like to use for my stitch tutorials a lot is ombres, and I just like ombres in general. So yeah, I like it. Good job, Premier. But yeah, it's not for me. But I will use the ones I have. And if I use these, I'm definitely cutting that white out. I'll see you guys. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments, okay? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Redheart, like I said, undefeated once again, but not for long. I'll see you guys next time. Okay. Bye, guys.